The Story of an Hour, first published in 1894 in Vogue magazine, is one of the choppest, briefest, and most widely read stories. Louise Mallard's response to the news that her husband has been killed and her demise upon his appearance exemplifies Chopin's belief regarding women's roles in marriage and feminine identity. Louise Mallard has heart trouble, so she must be informed carefully about her husband's death. Her sister, Josephine, tells her the news. Louis' husband's friend, Richard, learned about a railroad disaster when he was in the newspaper, and saw Louis' husband, Brantley, on the list of those killed. Louise began sobbing when Josephine tells her of Brantley's death and goes upstairs to be alone in her room. Louise sits down and looks out an open window, sees trees, smells approaching rain, and hears a peddler yelling out what he's selling. She hears someone singing as well as the sounds of sparrows, and there are fluffy white clouds in the sky. She's young, with lines around her eyes. Still crying, she gazes into the distance. She feels apprehensive, and she tries to suppress the building emotion within her, but can't. She begins repeating the word "free" to herself over and over again. Her heart beats quickly, and she feels very warm. Louise knows she will cry again when she sees Brantley's corpse. His hands were tender, and he always looked at her lovingly. But then she imagines the years ahead, which belong only to her now, and spread her arms out joyful with anticipation. She will be free on her own without anyone to oppress her. She thinks that a woman and man oppress one another even if they do it out of kindness. Louise knows that she often felt love of Brantley, but tells herself that none of that matters anymore. Louise's grief transforms into joy, and she realizes that Brantley's death will free her from her repressive marriage. She feels ecstatic with newfound sense of independence. Josephine comes to her door, begging Louise to come out, warning her that she will get sick if she doesn't. Louise tells her to go away. She is happy that her husband has died. Spring days and summer days and all sorts of days that would be her own. She breathed a quick prayer that life might be long. She arose at length and opened the door to her sister's importunities. There was a fierce triumph in her eyes, and she carried herself unwittingly like a goddess of victory. Together they descended the stairs. Richard stood waiting for them at the bottom, only to witness Brantley's coming home. Her joy turns out to shock at the sight of her husband, and she dies as a result. And Richard tries unsuccessfully to block Louise from seeing him. The doctors in the story diagnose her death as heart disease, also described of the joy that kills.